Okay, so how do you convert a fraction to a decimal? This is a pretty tricky one to do. We're going to walk through some of the steps, and there's some shortcuts depending on what the fraction is. But for the most part, there is a way to do it, and we'll go over it. Okay, so a fraction is pretty much, you know what it is. It's just like a number like 3/4. But let's say you have a fraction like this, 3/4. Well, if you have a calculator, you can just divide and get some answer. But if you don't have, and this is what I'm assuming you don't have one, how would you do this? How would you divide? So the question is, how do you divide? So that's the question. How do you divide 3/4? 3 divided by 4. So we see that the 4 cannot go into this 3. So the 4 can't go into this 3. So that already makes it a little bit harder. So when it's like that, when you can't put the denominator into the numerator, it's not so simple. So you have to imagine that the 3 up here, this guy here, you have to think of it as 30 tenths. And this might be a little confusing to think of it that way, because this is saying what? This is saying this is 30 multiplied by 0.1. So that's what's happening here. And what do you get when you do that? You get 3, which is the thing at the numerator here. Now, why that's helpful is you can divide 30 tenths by 4. So you can actually take this guy, and so we can do something like this. So let me see. So now 30 divided by 4. So we can ask ourselves, how many 4s go into 30? 7, right? So we have 7 times 4 is 28, and we have 2 remaining with the remainder of 2. So I'll put R2, remainder. The R means remainder. So now this 7 will go in the tens position. So this guy will be in the tens position. So if we have that, so we can write 0.7. So we already have what the first value is going to be, which is the 7 in the tens position. And now let's take this remainder from here and let's work with that. So when we're working with the 2, and if the 7 is in the tens position, the 2 is going to be in the hundreds position, hundreds. So that means this would mean, and we can think of this remaining 2, the remainder of 2, as 20 hundredths, which is the same as saying 20 times 0.01. And now let's divide, now let's divide 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Because again, we have the same 4 here. Divide by 4, divide by 4, get this 5. And now this 5 will go into the hundreds position. And then that's the final answer. There's no remainder after that. If there was, you would just keep going to the thousands position.